สวัสดีทุกคนนะคะที่เข้ามารับชมรับฟังนะคะวันนี้เราก็จะมา react Miss Grand International นะคะ International 2022 นะคะไปที่เทปิสวาบารีอินโดนีเซียอันไหนคือการประกวดจริงอะที่เป็นการประกวดแบบจริงๆจังๆเลยนะงั้นเริ่มที่คอสตูมกันก่อนแล้วกัน National Costume จาการ์ตาไทม์ GMT+7
Welcome to the one and only of the most renowned international beauty pageant, Miss Grand International 2022 National Costume Competition. The Santo International Convention Center, Jakarta, Indonesia. Jakarta, Indonesia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the National Costume Competition, Miss Grand International 2022 10th Anniversary, live from the Sentul International Convention Center, Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm Lise Garcia, Miss Grand International 2014, and I'm so happy to be your host tonight. Today, we celebrate each contestant's country of origin by celebrating the National Costume Competition. The 68 contestants will express their national identity with a costume associated with their geographic area and celebrating their culture in colorful and extravagant ways. The result of the Best National Costume Award will be announced at the Miss Grand International 2022 Grand Show on October 25th. All of you can participate in the judging of this competition, so please stay connected to our online platforms of Miss Grand International to see the rules and instructions for the scoring after the show. Before the show starts, I would love to introduce our most special guests. First, Jalili Chaparro, Miss Grand International 2013. Ariska Putri Purtiwi, Miss Grand International 2016. Clara Sosa, Miss Grand International 2018. Valentina Figuera, Miss Grand International 2019. Abina Akuaba Apia, Miss Grand International 2020. And our reigning Queen Tian, Miss Grand International 2021. We'd also like to include Maharani Kamala, founder of MS Glow. Dr. Devia Linda. Miss Teresa Chaivisut, Vice President of the Miss Grand International Organization. Ivan Gunawan, founder of Dunia Mega Bintang Foundation. And Nawat Itzarak Raisi, the president of the Miss Grand International Organization. And now, are you ready to meet all the ladies in their wonderful national costumes? Well, let's get started with our grand experiences.
Miss Grand Angola. Message of peace. The message of peace is a guardian,
Angola.
imbued with the spirit of tranquility, promoting the peaceful resolution of problems between peoples and countries, and an end of the wars. For the messenger, peace is important. It connects people and brings harmony to the world. A world at peace. A world of happiness, and together we can be better and prosper. What she's wearing is an attire of peace, charged with conscience and spirit. She asked for peace and an end of the war and conflicts between countries and nations. Miss Grand Angola. Miss Grand Argentina. The national costume is inspired by a tanguera, an Argentinian tango dancer. Tango is traditional Argentinian dance that for many years was only for men. But from the 21st century, and thanks to the brave women of that time who fight for the inclusion, today is dancing, singing, and enjoying all genres. Miss Grand Argentina. Miss Grand Australia. The pink Pikachu is one of Australia's most iconic and magnificent birds. The cockatoo represents power to guide through darkness, commitment to partnerships, and the importance of the safety of one's group. This beautiful bird also represents humor, as they are known to be very social, cheeky, and loud. This stunning costume was made here in Indonesia. The bright colors reflects the bird's natural stunning features. The sparkles represent the joy and personality of the bird, and the elements of Australian nature represent the beauty of this bird's home. Miss Grand Australia. Miss Grand Bangladesh. A young nation born through revolution inspired by the unstoppable desire for freedom and ability to embrace culture that is the ethereal beauty of Bangladesh. The fabric has literally positioned Bangladesh as the world as the global leader of Jamdani fabric.
ขยับปีกก็คือปีกเป็นเลข
Leader
สุด
in
ท้าย
garments, trades only at 50 years old. Taifa is the country's success and the true example of ending the war and violence to achieve independence and become a country loved for their fight for peace and garment success. Joy Bangala, Miss Grand Bangladesh. Miss Grand Belarus.
หัวหลุด
The Belarusian national costume is a modern interpretation.
Belarus.
It's made of natural fabrics. The main color is the classic white, which is a symbol of purity and chastity. According to popular legend, it is thanks to this prevailing tone that the Belarusian got their direct name as a nation. The swan is a symbol of rebirth, purity, chastity, nobility, wisdom, and prophetic abilities. The outfit is framed with color Belarusian ornaments. The patterns are embroidered with a red thread on a white fabric. patterns on the peasants' clothing are not only an ornament, but also a kind of magical spell, a protective amulet, a talisman. Miss Grand Belarus. Miss Grand Belgium. The golden bird of Belgium, or better known as the canary. This bird is kept
นกสี
as
ทอง
a pet in Belgium and was a very precious animal in the 15th century. It could only be kept by monks or kings. Kings gave this bird as gifts to their fellow princes as a sign of appreciation. The canary is characterized by its full golden color and can sing beautifully, which is why it is so popular these days. You can also find the canary in our flag, gold of wealth like the canary. Miss Grand Belgium. Miss Grand Bolivia. The most legendary silver mine of the world was discovered in Bolivia by a humble pastor named 𝐑𝐞𝐚𝐜.𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧. Legend has it that the Inca 𝐭𝐢𝐨 baptized the Cerro Rico de Potosi as the Shuma Oroco, which is the emblematic symbol of Bolivia's natural wealth. The city of Potosi then became the place that contributed the most of the
เอ้ย
wealth of
แขน
humanity,
สวย
the precious mineral of silver. This mineral was called the
แทนพัดได้เลย
Virgin, or of our Mother Earth, Pachamama. The legend is embodied and materialized in a black dress in blaze. The meaning of the earth, it is painted and made by Bolivian hands. Miss Grand Bolivia. Miss Grand Brazil. In 1829, when the second empress of Brazil
ว้าว
met the emperor and her husband,
ว้าวจริตได้มาก
that he fainted after his husband and daughter died of tuberculosis. She founded a hospital to treat the disease, which still exists, and fully dedicated her life to charity. The Order of the Rose was created in her honor and is awarded to Brazilians who did a meaningful action for their country. A designer celebrates a symbol of beauty, loyalty, and kindness, and 200 years of Brazil's independence. Miss Grand Brazil. Miss Grand Cambodia.
ถ้าจับมงกุฎ
San
มา
Monorom coffee costume. Northeastern San Monorom coffee costume. It was made to present Cambodia's provinces of northeastern region, which is rich in coffee plantation and famous for its best tasting coffee in Cambodia. The ornament in the image of a bull, which is the rare and endangered animal, is the symbol of Cambodia. This rarely seen bull can only be found in the northeastern provinces of Cambodia. Our goal of using this animal as our costume's inspiration is to showcase the rare resources that Cambodia possesses and to display our national heritage and identity to the world. Miss Grand Cambodia.
น่าจะเป็นควายเนาะ เพราะว่าแถวบ้านเราไม่น่าจะมี
Canadian jaybird, also known as the gray jay, is the
Canada.
iconic bird of Canada.
ว้าวควง
It
กระ
has
ทะ
pale gray underpants, darker gray
มีโยนไหม
underparts,
แม่
and gray
โยนไหม
white head. This costume
Yun,
is
hindi ko
crafted
sisi.
from handmade look, a light feather, and decorated with rhinestone, specially designed by Indonesian costume designer. This
Ni pa,
national
sudah lama.
costume represents peaceful and beautiful Canada. Miss Grand Canada. Miss Grand Chile. Based on the dance costume of celebration in honor of the Virgin of Carmen, the tune show adored with feathers turbans, loose hair, and devotion to the patron saint. Miss Grand Chile.
จีนเปล่าต่อไปจีนเปล่า
Miss Grand China หลงเฮา
ใช่หน้าจริงๆด้วย
Inspired with the elements of the legendary dragon and ancient Chinese Hanfu dress. Miss China's costume was designed by famous Indonesian designers to demonstrate the history and culture
ขอยืมชุดไปใส่ตุ๊ดจีนหน่อยค่ะ
One of China's most
ขอ
significant
ยืมชุดไป
symbols
ใส่ตุ๊ด
is
จีนหน่อย
used as
ค่ะ
the main elements to symbolize power, luck, and joy. The secondary element, Hanfu, is a type of traditional dress worn by powerful Chinese women during the ancient times, such as the Empress. And by combining the two elements, this costume resembles China's most symbolic traditions and power in women.
หางมังกรไม่กระดก
Miss
ดี
Grand China. Miss Grand Colombia. From coffee lands
Oh.
excellence of emeralds and
Colombia.
beautiful women, the costume made in a contemporary design gives life to
ดินแดนแห่งดอกไม้
that represents the diversity of Colombia, proud of its flowers and nature that enriches their land. The saddle parade is a tradition of the peasants who are dedicated to cultivating flowers, and she carried them on her back with honor. Millions of flowers from her
Stop
country
the
travel
wow.
the world, such as the orchid. Their
ชอบ
all these beauty
Stop the
together
wow.
will make a single land bloom with they will say no to war. Miss Grand Colombia. Miss Grand Costa Rica. Goddess of Peace. Her costume represents the white color of peace that symbolizes the brotherhood and the banner of Costa Rica. The feather represents their ancestors who left their mark of harmony that they as human beings should have with nature. Villages of the world, it's time to live in peace and in balance with nature. Miss Grand Costa Rica. Miss Grand Crimea. A griffin, a winged lion with an eagle's head, is a mythological creature, a symbol of the ancient cities of Chersonesus and Pentacapium, and in later times, the cities of Sevastopol and Kerch. Since ancient times, protective properties have been attributed to the griffin. On the coat of arms of Crimea, he is depicted as a symbol of the guardian and defender. Miss Grand Crimea. Miss Grand Cuba. Her costume represents the essence and the flavors of the Cuban culture and their African-Cuban background. Blue, red, and white are the color of their flag. The red stands from the blood spilled with their independence fights. The blue stands for their sky, and the white stands for the purity of their hearts and ideology. But most importantly, this costume represents the freedom of their people from Cuba are fighting for. Today, from this stand, she represents the people from Cuba. She wants to scream with all her heart, Patria e Vida Freedom, from the people of Cuba. Miss Grand Cuba. Miss Grand Curaçao. With more than 35 acclaimed beaches, crystal clear waters, pristine white sand, and exotic coral reefs, Curaçao is considered a true treasure in the Caribbean. As the goddess of the Caribbean Sea, Kanisha Louise has emerged from the ocean to embrace her waves and the soft wind that blows. While she flows, she shares a message of peace and harmony to the world. Let the breeze caress you and she will set you free. Miss Grand Curaçao. Miss Grand Czech Republic. Magical Czech linden tree. Costume designer, craft explosion, concept and styling Sam Dulce. The linden tree is the Czech national symbol. AT is traditionally made from the flowers, which has many medicinal effects that help in the fight against diseases. The linden tree has been attributed a protective power since people believed that it could warn off evil spirits. It was often planted near their home because it was believed that it would not be struck by lightning. This celebrated magical national tree plays almost the main role in the famous Czech opera In the Lantern by Jurasek. Miss Grand Czech Republic. Miss Grand Denmark. Her national costume represents Denmark's national bird, the swan. The graceful swan is a symbol of purity, grandeur, and pride. When the swan is born as a duckling, it is small and most often not considered pretty. But when it blossoms into a large swan, it is seen as a majestic bird. The message of that bird is that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, which is a message that is very close to her and which she finds extremely important. Miss Grand Denmark. Miss Grand Dominican Republic. Las Reinas del Caribe is the volleyball team represented by women in the Dominican Republic. It is a team that in recent years has been undefeated in all its games. For her, sports are extremely important because through them you forge discipline, and it is a form of protest to the whole world since the aid from the Dominican government for athletes is in danger.
ประเทศเขาเล่นวอลเลย์เก่ง
Miss Grand Dominican Republic.
นึกว่าจะตก
Miss Grand Ecuador. The national costume takes the phoenix as its main figure. Ecuador and the whole world is resurfacing, reborn from all the chaos left by the pandemic as a result of the COVID-19 virus, and that is still among us. But we are brave, strong, and we are rising from the ashes. Fully handmade, hand-painted, and decorated with stones and crystals in yellow, gold, red, and silver colors. Its body is wrapped in flames. Wings are displayed like phoenix rising from the ashes. Miss Grand Ecuador. Miss Grand El Salvador. El Salvador's national costume is a traditional, colorful concept that represents the faith of Latin America's of Good Friday, which is inspired by the making of carpets during Lent. The Catholics of El Salvador professed their faith through the festival of death and resurrection by creating cultural, multicolored rugs with different types of materials such as salt and sawdust. This national costume is inspired by good. Miss Grand El Salvador. Miss Grand France. A mix of robe à la française, cuffs and corset with a layered bicolor tulle skirt and petticoat raiment of Versailles and French can-can. The crown and roses are symbols of royalty with colors of the modern French flag. Two past era where women faced hardships and fought in their own ways of care and path for future
หน้าออกเอ
generations.
เชียมากเล
It
ย
is
อ่ะ
with this resolve and remembering past wrongdoings that this dress
หน้าออกของ
was
เอ
made
เชีย
as a token of freedom and
น่า
peace
จะมีเชื้อสายเอเชียห
moving
รือเปล่า
forward. Miss Grand France. Miss Grand Germany. The national costume of Miss Grand Germany is inspired by Germanic goddess
นางจะยกปีกให้ดูนะคะ
associated with love, beauty, fertility, war, gold representing strength in women in such a way. A black
ย
bodysuit
กปีกให้ดูแล้ว
case enhance the
Wow,
beauty
wow.
of 𝐑𝐞𝐚𝐜 Miss Grand Germany with matching accessories and high gold boots.
มันหลายชั้นขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
German culture richness
Oh
with
my
wings
God.
in the symbolic German colors of gold,
Oh,
red,
wow.
and black to represent the freedom of the German people. A national costume designed and made by Indonesian designers. Miss Grand Germany. Miss Grand Ghana. This costume is called the Goddess of
Ghana.
Music. Inspiration from the beauty of diversity and strength in unity, coming from the country with so many different ethnic groups and tribes with distinct and unique characteristics, values, culture, and language. She serves as embodiment and representation for them all. The kente cloth teaches us that different colors and shapes can come together to form something beautiful, making her the great
Freedom.
nation, Ghana. Miss Grand Ghana.
Freedom
Miss Grand Guatemala. Guatemala Viva. Guatemala Viva reflects the Quetzal, the native Mayan bird.
เป็นงูหรือเป็นนก
From the majestic pyramid of the great jaguar, the iconic symbol of the splendorous Mayan city of Tikal, inspired in the true treasures of the deep rainforest. Guatemala Viva rises from the one of the still remaining lungs of the planet and cradle of the most mysterious and ancient civilization of the world, the Mayan Empire. This costume takes us back to the era in which nature showed the grandiosity and we human live along. Miss Grand Guatemala. Miss Grand Haiti. Her national costume was inspired by the two world powers that exist right now. Therefore, on her national costume, there are images of wars and other symbolic images deriving from wars and discrimination. A white satin cape covered with image of the fall of the world, war, famine, discrimination, and having in the middle a sign of peace made by the flags of all countries. A shiny silver satin bodysuit, silver gilded plates, shiny silver boots, a shiny silver mask covered with the white feathers, and the rest of the body covered with paint. Miss Grand Haiti.
Stop war
Miss Grand Honduras. The national costume is a creation of Alberto de Castro, inspired in
Honduras.
two of the 9 native tribes of Honduras. The Granny
นางดูหนักๆ
and
เนาะ
Blanca is a combination between cultures, forest and undersea coral reef of Honduras. It has made by recycled material and acrylic, rhinestones, natural
มันเยอะไปแม่
Miss Grand Honduras. Miss Grand Hong Kong. The national costume is called Bone
Hong
China.
Kong.
This refreshing K-pop is characterized by the bone china printing, which echoes Chinese culture. As a popular writer, Mei To is promoting modern art with traditional elements. She believes simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. This Chinese K-pop enhances the streamlined silhouette and project certain oriental terminant. It shows the special culture of Hong Kong. We bring the ingredients of the East and West together, and the chemistry occurs. Miss Grand Hong Kong.
Misskao ฮ่องกง
Miss Grand India. The national costume is inspired by the national animal of India,
เสืออินเดีย
tiger. The costume represents the patterns of the tiger body, its splendid carriage and splendiferous grace. The combination of grace, strength, agility, and enormous power has earned the tiger its pride of place as the national animal of India. Other than utmost power and strength, tiger symbolizes wildlife wealth of India. Tiger is a lethal combination of royalty, elegance, and aspiration that represents the wholesome spirit and soul of India. Miss Grand India. Miss Grand Indonesia. Rio is a uniquely traditional performance dance art comes from Ponorogo, Indonesia that serves as folk entertainment, contains magical elements. The rich symbolism of the Riog Ponorogo can also be seen in the character of Singa Barong, a fearsome lion monster with peacock feathers on its head. The lion is supposed to represent the Majapahit king, while the feathers, his queen Asriel, tells the story about the struggle of a prince who will propose to a beautiful princess, named the mystical art of Rio. Miss Grand Indonesia. Miss Grand Ireland. Wearing the Tipperary 𝐑𝐞𝐚𝐜 team colors, blue jerseys with the horizontal gold bar across the center, along with white shorts and blue socks. The Tipperary crest features the rock of Cashel prominently, with the two cross harness and the football below. 𝐑𝐸𝐽 is an Irish stick-a-ball team sport played by women. It is the female version of hurling. It all begins in the early 1900s, when women talked about wanting to learn the sport in order to distinguish themselves from hurling, which was only practiced by men. Women called their game 𝐑𝐸𝐽, now played by 100,000 women in Ireland and worldwide, largely among Irish communities. Miss Grand Ireland. Miss Grand Italy. The concept of this dress would be more aimed at the Mediterranean diet, given that the Mediterranean diet is based on the three colors. That is a nutritional model inspired by typical diet of the populations of southern Italy, overlooking a Mediterranean basin, sharing the internationality and beauty that makes Italy unique in its style, pizza and dry pasta as a diet, which have made Italy the spokesperson for beauty, health, style, fashion, and the glamour of healthy lifestyle transmitted by the Mediterranean women of the world.
มีความสะโพก
Italy.
สวยย่าง
Miss Grand Jamaica. Costume story many years ago, when sugar was the crash crop of kings. Burlap bags were used all over Jamaica to store tons of sugar on plantations. The enslaved women during those times were well known to wear a reddish, lightweight fabric called bandana. The headdress is a traditional hand-woven basket that's made from coconut leaves and dried bamboo. This costume represents a history of women who fought for their freedom, hence it's a symbol of power and liberty. Miss Grand Jamaica. Miss Grand Japan. This costume is inspired by the crane, which is one of the symbols of birds in Japan, and also from the Japanese origami culture. The black color gives the meaning of darkness and the damage of war. The white color symbolizes peace and purity. The pink expresses love and affection. In the performance, the crane bird will be born from the egg, and it shows that the importance of connecting life. She hopes her costume will deliver the message of peace with Japanese culture. Miss Grand Japan.
มีความออกสะบัดออกเฮ้ยเหยียบชุด
Miss Grand Korea. The design is a court dress worn during the Joseon dynasty in Korea. Yellow clothes have been worn since the Korean Empire. It is a hairstyle worn by the queen or crown princess when she wears robes and has a dignifying appearance or appearance. Miss Grand Korea.
ต่อไปลาวแน่นอน
Miss Grand Laos. Mai Kwan-ơi. It is inspired by the ceremony of Basi Sukwan. It's invisible, blessed, which gives pure spiritual to everyone. It is an exquisite Laos traditional that shows the preparation of our traditional ceremonies since ancient times until present. The mark bang is the main element in the ceremony, symbolizes the abundance fertility. The pure white cotton for bracelets, perfect boiled eggs, and finish with a toasted of Lao Khao, Laos whiskey, which brew from Laos sticky rice. Miss Grand Laos. Miss Grand Malaysia. Malayan Tiger Story. This national costume is the national animal of Malaysia, Malayan tiger, or commonly known as Harimau Malaya. It symbolizes bravery and strength among Malaysians to bring about power, energy, protection, and illumination of the people. It is a national icon of Malaysia and can be seen everywhere, from Malaysia's coats of arms, national athletes, to the emblems of government, private institutions. By incorporating the tiger meaning into our lives, Malaysia conjure its spirit of being a strong nation.
เดินลำบากเนาะ
Malaysia. Miss Grand Mauritius. The dodo is a significance of hope and resurrection, as it is one of the most renowned extinct creatures due to its symbol of resilience. Its extension is less than a century after its discovery, through to light the question of human engagement in the extinction of the entire species. The dodo serves as vivid reminders of what may follow when mankind violate nature's delicate balance. For better or worse, the imprint of the dodo stands as a lesson for the present and a warning for the future of humanity's interaction with the planet and its species. Miss Grand Mauritius. Miss Grand Mexico. The typical attire is inspired by the ritual of Totonac culture, being one of the dances that, due to the great part of the mystery, mysticism, and beauty that frames the ceremony, is directed to invoke the god of rain and fertility, crowning the suit 5 line, 4 representing the 4 elements, water, earth, fire, air, and the fifth represents the sun. Thus, her clothing is made up of red shorts that symbolizes blood and mantillas, the last quarters and first quarters. Her white blouse represents purity. The headdress with ribbons of different colors as a symbol of the rainbow. The plume is decorated with mirrors that manifest the stars of the universe and the moon that reflects the sun. Mexican tradition that, due to its demonstrations and admiration, is cataloged as a living and ancient culture wealth of Mexico. Miss Grand Mexico. Miss Grand Mongolia. Northern Mongolian princess. Her national costume was inspired
เจ้าหญิงหิมะมาเลยค่ะ
Nawanlov Sangin, the last official queen consort of Mongolia, who was executed in May 1938 during the repression in Mongolia, which resulted in the massacre of a huge number of the population. The image of the Mongolian queen was inspired by the director of the film Star Wars, George Lucas. Therefore, the prototype of Queen Amidala was the last queen of Mongolia, Nawanlov Sangin. The film features the passerby, the costumes, and the fate of the queens. Miss Grand Mongolia. Miss Grand Mozambique. The Mapiko dance is always linked to male initiation rites and is the most important dance of the Makondes. It uses masks with the same name. This dance is very important in the lives of the Makondes of Mozambique, with an aura of mystery and secrecy surrounding the preparation of the mask and the dance itself. For example, it is important that the identity of the dancer is not known. For the dance, a young man masquerades as a man or an animal wearing clothes and wearing a mapiko mask on his head. There are several steps that the dancers performs, always in tune with the music of the drums, presenting a kind of theatrical staging which enchants and entertains all who watch. After an ecstasy of activity on the part of the dancer, an enactment of chase and escape ensues between the dancer and a group of villagers. Miss Grand Mozambique. Miss Grand Myanmar. Queen of Myanmar. Myanmar is a country with a very unique culture and there are many ethnicities. This is a dress that symbolizes Myanmar perfectly. The first set was made into Burmese puppet set and presented with a puppet dance. And there is another set, the Queen of Myanmar, that gathers everything about Myanmar in this set, decorated with crystals, creating a beautiful shimmer to make everyone to see the beautiful of ethnic culture. Miss Grand Myanmar. Miss Grand Nepal. Danfe, highlighting the untapped potential of younger generations. This Danfe costumes has been put together by creative youths in Nepal using locally available resources. Featuring the majestic Danfe, the national bird of Nepal, a symbol of peace, beauty, and harmony. Nepal believes the vibrant colors of the Danfe reflects the unity of the multi-ethnic, multilingual, and multicultural diversity in the nation. The hand-painted cape attempts to embody life in mountains, where the Danfe originates, with glimpses of Buddhist tupa and cattle gazing. The Danfe welcomes happiness by extending wings and dancing to the rhythm of nature. Pouching has left Danfe endangered. Miss Grand Nepal. Miss Grand Netherlands. We are one. worn by the Netherlands. It seems like the world is falling into pieces, like broken pottery and cannot be fixed. But we can reuse the broken pieces for new creations, bring artists together, and new purposes can be created. We are one. Created by Dutch Indonesian designer and Dutch artist. The dress which completes this national costume is by Bali-based designer. Try to spot the sparkles of hope for a new future as one. Miss Grand Netherlands. Miss Grand Nicaragua. The design is a tribute to the passion and love that Nicaraguans have for baseball, which is born from the streets, neighborhoods, stadiums, and in the big leagues. This suit is an inspiration from the official uniform of the national baseball team, which results in an original, handcraft, and fanciful design that reflects the great achievements that have been proudly worn both nationally and internationally, with representative elements of this sport that complement it.